It's well known that you know everything. Is that true?
I don't know absolutely everything. That's up for like I'm on InMendham, so I don't know absolutely everything, but I know most of it.
So, what did the Mexicans do in the year 500 to get around Mexico? What did they do?
I believe they I believe they used I believe they, for the most part, just used lake power and chain gangs, and I do believe they use riverboats and things like that. Beasts of burden, or animals such as mules and horses, didn't come, I believe, until the until Europeans came and brought them.
Really?
Yeah.
What happened with the mules?
Pack horses, mules, and other farm animals, other beasts of burden, as they're known, were actually introduced were actually introduced into European colonies by the Europeans, which inherited them from ages long past. Like horses came from the east, and then of course they developed mules that could help with moving commerce, and also into oxen to help with farming duties. This is before the age of tractors. These oxen. Now for primitive civilizations like the native South Americans didn't have these sort of advanced animal technologies. What they used was just very large gangs of slaves and peasants in order to move commerce around, to grow food, and to build structures.
Slaves?
Yes, they actually were. They were actually fairly warlike, for the most part. If we're talking about if we're talking about Mexico, they were actually quite warlike. They had some periods were more warlike than others. But what the tribes would do is that one tribe would attack another, and that like the winner would take slaves from the tribe that lost.
Wow.
And then the slaves would be pressed into building things in working fields, and so on and so forth. That was actually a practice which existed also in African tribes, as well as North American native tribes as well.
Wow. See, I told you, he knows everything. I did not make that up. I just pulled that out of my butt. You know what I mean? Like I just pulled that out of my butt. That's hilarious. Okay. And before we go, what would you like to say?
Well, I think that we should all be thankful for the gifts of civilization, such as the internet, computers, video cameras, YouTube. But in the end of the day, it's people. People make progress. And if we fail to make progress, then we're a little better than animals. If we look backwards, if we decide that we would be better off without progress, then it's really indistinguishable from having the position that we are animals. So you have to ask yourself: do you want to run with animals, or do you want to run with men?
Wow.